Celebrating 5 years of World of Tanks. World of Tanks was launched in Europe in April 2011, so the 5th anniversary is just coming up. And secondly, we're also celebrating this year 100 years of tanks. 1916, in the Battle of Somme, the Mark I saw as the first tank battle, and it's on the battlefield. And it's a British tank, and we're going to have a full year of activities around that, working together with our partners here from Bovington. Wargaming has a large history of cooperating with museums and with, in the spirit of preserving the history of armored vehicles. We have been working together with obviously the Tank Museum, as we are doing today, but also with other museums around the world, in Europe and the other continents that are also there. So here, for instance, is the USS Iowa in Los Angeles. It's nowadays a museum ship, and when you go and visit it, you will be able to play some wargaming titles in the gaming center there. We're also working again together with the Tank Museum and Google on a 360-degree Inside the Tank series, where you can actually jump inside the tank and not just play the tank, but actually see what a real tank looks from the inside. So that's a quite amazing project, and there's going to be more stuff on this to be released soon. And here, last but not least, we are also have helped restore the Dornier 17 2 years ago, together with the Royal something Museum, the Royal Air Force Museum here in the UK. So this is the state which the plane looked like when we actually dug it out of the channel, the British Channel. Nowadays you can actually see it in the Royal Air Force Museum here in the UK, and it looks a little bit better. So I think it's a good it's a good occasion that we're doing this event here at the Tank Museum. Obviously, one of the best, if not the best, collection of tanks in Europe for sure, but maybe even worldwide. So at least for the moment, that's it from me. Let me introduce to you Keith Anderson, our Director of Communications and Marketing, who will guide you through the rest of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, everyone who traveled from very far places to be here. I think we even have some Asian journalists with us today. So thanks, everyone. So moving on, 5 years of World of Tanks. But the story for Wargaming has gone on for a little bit longer than that. Many of you may not be aware that Wargaming has been around for 18 years. And World of Tanks wasn't the first title that Wargaming did. In fact, Wargaming has launched 15 titles to date. But World of Tanks was a game changer for us. It definitely established us as a leader in the free-to-play market. And it's helped build a business that is now truly not just a global publisher, but also a global developer. We have 16 offices around the world that employ just over 4,000 people, and 2/3 of that staff are involved in game development. So, you know some of our titles, and I guarantee in the years to come, you'll get to know a lot more titles that are coming from Wargaming. And in our Wargaming universe, we have over 150 million users that have registered for Wargaming.net accounts. So from humble beginnings, our company has definitely blossomed and grown phenomenally over the last few years. And Wargaming has been the pioneer of strategic online military shooters. And you know, we're the leaders in the field, and we aim to keep going. And what got us there was World of Tanks. So this title has been truly phenomenal for us and for our players. We've registered over 110 million players worldwide. We've had over 7 million players register in the Xbox universe. And very recently, we've just launched on the PlayStation 4. And we announced that about a month after launch, we had 1 million players. Well, we're not even 2 months after launch, and I can tell you that we've now had over 2 million registrations for World of Tanks on the PlayStation 4. It's been a phenomenal success for us. And we're very proud to say that Europe is leading the way. Speaking with our counterparts at Sony, they tell us that it's the first title that's actually doing better in Europe than North America in the free-to-play market for them. So we're very proud of that achievement. And we're also proud to announce that PlayStation 4 content will catch up with Xbox content this year. And last week we announced the release of the British tank line. This will be hitting PlayStation 4 now. And not only can you see a whole bunch of these wonderful tanks in the museum, but here's a refresher of what's in store for the British tanks on PlayStation 4. When we started, there were 3 nations in World of Tanks. There were about 100 tanks in the game when we launched. And I think this video now will show you just how many changes have happened in the 5 years since we launched World of Tanks. So, just for all the press here, this isn't a new launch trailer, right? This was the trailer when the game launched 5 years ago. And yeah, it's a bit of a blast from the past. Enjoy. So much has changed. Great gameplay, still there, absolutely. We now have 8 nations. We have over 400 tanks in the game. And over the last 5 years, we've had 60 updates, which have regularly been improving the game. And we're pleased to announce that update 9.14 is now on the way. We've been listening to our community, and that's a focus and a theme for what's happening in tanks throughout this year, is listening to our community and trying to implement what they want in the game. So here's the latest trailer for the M46 Patton KR. It's our newest premium tank that's available, and if you happen to need the toilet, you'll see the real one just outside the loos to the left over there. So here it is, a new trailer showing just how far our game has come along. Our ads have got shorter, and our graphics have got better, but that's not all that's changing. So in update 9.14, which is releasing soon, we can announce that we have improved physics, improved sound, more HD models, and a new engine W-wise. So when you introduce new physics into the gameplay, it's not just updating the old physics engine to be better. We're putting a new physics engine in there to make sure the game runs as it should. And when you play the game in the next couple of days, all the machines around you are running update 9.14, and our producers will talk to you more about this update in the interviews you have with them. So that's not the only thing we're investing in when it comes to World of Tanks and Wargaming. We're also making a big investment over the next year in competitive play. Our Wargaming League is going from strength to strength. We're innovating how competitive play is going to work. And we're investing in the players that are at the top end of our player competitive tree. This last weekend, we've just held the European finals in Cologne, and here's a video that led up to the great finals that happened just this last weekend. So new opportunities for our players in competitive gaming around World of Tanks. So, 100 years of tanks. It's really a privilege to be working with great places like the Tank Museum, thank you, on 100 years of tanks. And we've got big plans for this centenary as we go through the year. Part of our goal is to really engage and involve our players in celebrating 100 years of tanks and the journey tanks have made over this time. And we're going to be paying tribute to the Mark I, the very first tank on the battlefield in World of Tanks. You'll be seeing this across multiple platforms through the year, and as we get closer to this coming to be, we'll make the announcements close to the time. But throughout 2016, we're running special in-game events that will take our players on the journey to the Mark I in the first battle in 2016. And then in September, we'll be holding a Mark I tank event in London. This will be the culmination of our activities, and we'll be pleased to unveil the Mark I in the capital 100 years after the first Mark I was unveiled there. So, we're bringing more games to market than ever before. We're listening to our community and how we update and make changes to the game, and in how we engage and involve in our events that are going to be happening through the year in 2016. We're investing in competitive gaming, and we're celebrating 2 great anniversaries. So as Wargaming, we've got a lot to be proud about in where we've come from, but our message is very clear that we're continuing to invest in a big way in where World of Tanks is going and where all of our other brands and properties are going, and in how the company is evolving and growing over the next year. We thank you for being part of that with us, and through the rest of the afternoon you'll be able to play Update 9.14 in the machines behind you. There's interview sessions with our producers and our historical staff, and then tomorrow morning you'll be back here for a press conference about the history of tanks, and with the Tank Museum we'll be taking you through the evolution of tanks on the battlefield. Thank you very much everyone, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.